The RSI Constellation Andromeda was one of the first ships introduced into Star Citizen, and incidentally is actually the ship that made me aware of the game. But today we ask, just how good is this iconic vessel? So grab your towel and come along to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Verse. To start, a disclaimer. We will never suggest making additional pledges to Star Citizen beyond the base starter packages, being the Aurora or Mustang, as that is all that is needed to play any part of the game. For this reason, whether we recommend a vehicle or not is based on grinding to buy in-game only. With that said, the value of the project is down to each individual, and to some an additional pledge is worth it, whilst to others it's not. Only you know what it is worth to you, so only you can make that choice. Now with that out of the way, the RSI Constellation, or Conny for short. At 61 metres in length and weighing in at 419 tonnes, the Conny is the second largest of the medium class vessels, and also the second most massive, pushing dangerously close to large vessel territory. This naturally translates to its handling. With a pitch and yaw rate of 40 degrees per second, an SCM speed of 114 meters per second, and a max speed of only 911, the Conny is also the second slowest vessel in its class. Accelerating forward at 3.8 G, the Conny is respectable in its ability to get up to speed, although with only 2 G of reverse thrust, it trundles to a halt. Combined with its propensity for oversteering, any changes in velocity need to be carefully applied. In Atmo, the Conny handles fairly well, predominantly due to its VTOL system which, unlike most vessels, doesn't require the redirection of the main thrusters. It's no ballerina, but compared to other vessels of this size, it's forgiving enough, even for a novice pilot. Let's talk amenities. The Conny comes fully equipped for its 4-man crew. Entering the hab area, situated directly behind the bridge, we find a shower-toilet combo, a locker for everybody, 4 beds, each of which doubles as an escape pod, as well as seating and a pop-up table for eating and recreation. This is also where we find the crew elevator, as well as one of the 3 docking ports. Moving back into the hold, and we find the 96 SCU of cargo space, which can alternatively comfortably house anything up to the size of an Ursa rover or a couple of ROCs. It is here that we also find the 2 additional docking ports, as well as the interior missile loaders. Finally, moving to the back of the ship, we find the Conny's party piece, its P-52 Parasite Craft. Whilst not functional just yet, the Parasite Craft stands to provide additional firepower in the guise of a quick and nimble fighter if you ever come under attack. Talking of attack, the Conny's survivability is, on paper, fairly decent. With 2 medium shield generators and 33,000 hull HP, the Conny can take a fair few hits, and when it is hit, then it has some level of armouring to help reduce those incoming blows, reducing energy damage by 10% and ballistics by 3. There is a glaring issue however, and that is in the large number of shield holes that currently exist for the ship. These won't be a problem in the future of course, but it needs to be considered nonetheless. In terms of dealing back the damage, the Conny's claws are far from dull. With 4 pilot-controlled S4 gimbaled mounts, the pilot DPS of the Constellation is unmatched in its class. That's if you can keep the weapons pointed at the target of course. Anything quicker than a freelancer, and the lack of agility renders the pilot's weapons useless, forcing you to rely on the 2 manned turrets, each of which sports twin size 2 mounts, and the Parasite Craft once implemented. Worse still is that if any of the engines get blown off, a common tactic in dogfights, then you lose one of the weapons due to their mounting position. Of course, if you do lose the guns, then a missile barrage will also work, and missiles is something that the Conny certainly doesn't lack. With 28 size 1 missiles and 24 size 2s, the Conny has enough ordnance to make a hammerhead pilot keep their distance. So is there a place for the Constellation Andromeda? At 70,000 credits a day to rent and 3.5 million to buy, the Conny is simply too expensive compared to other ships that fall into its class. If you're after a cargo hauler, a Freelancer Max will move an additional 24 SCU of cargo for 1.5 million less, whilst still being able to carry the same vehicles and handling better to boot. For a missile boat, the Freelancer Miz comes close enough in damage potential for 1 million less. If you want something to fight with, a Vanguard Harbinger will serve you better in any solo fight, and if bringing a friend along, you'd fare better in buying 2 Cutlass Blacks, and while saving 500,000 in the process. The Conny truly is a jack of all trades, master of none, and for us, that's not worth the premium. And that's all on that. Let us know your thoughts on the RSI Constellation Andromeda down below, as well as any other ships you'd like us to take a look at. And whilst you're at it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that wonderful stuff too. And with that, we'll thank you for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.